Good morning, kiddos. Happy snow day. Let's talk about what I'd like you guys to do today. Head on over to Schoology.com. If you didn't do this before or you're new to the class, in the description section below, I'll post the course code so that you can get logged in. And once you're there, you're going to need to go to Unit 2, and there'll only be one thing in that folder, and that's classification of matter and changes. And this is an unlimited attempt. So try as much as you like, get the best score possible, and what you can expect is you can see a one attempt quiz version of this when we return. You'll see some pretty straightforward questions that just ask you to classify changes or properties as chemical or physical. They're just a straight multiple choice. The kinds of questions that really trip people up are these. I'll give you a substance, and I'll tell you to check all that apply, and there'll be 2 or 3 things that you should check of the 6 choices. Your 6 choices are pure substance, mixture, homogeneous, heterogeneous, element, and compound. Now, before we left, people were really good at telling me whether something is an element, a compound, a homogeneous mixture, or a heterogeneous mixture. But now I'm asking you to think a little more about everything kind of behind that. Like, if it's an element, does that mean it's a mixture or a pure substance? Is it homogeneous, heterogeneous? So you have to choose more than just element or compound, or homogeneous mixture or heterogeneous mixture. You have to check all of these 6, all that apply. And I'm telling you that in each problem there will either be 2 or 3 checks that you should make. So think back to that Venn diagram that we made. Let me make one down here, that really funky looking one. We had everything that was matter. And then the first 2 circles that we made is we made a circle for homogeneous, and we made a circle for heterogeneous. And what we said was everything that is hetero is a mixture, and some things that are homogeneous is a mixture. So pointing out that if it's hetero, it is automatically a mixture. And some things that are homogeneous are also mixtures, but not everything. Inside of homogeneous, we also put pure substance. So everything that is a pure substance is homogeneous. And that's kind of logical, because if it's a pure substance, it only has one kind of part, so it has to be homogeneous, because there's not a second part that you could see differently. So if you say pure substance, you should automatically go ahead and say homogeneous. And then inside of pure substance, we subdivided that into element or compound. So if you kind of keep this in mind, you can see that there's only 3 possible arrangements of check marks that you should do. If you think something is a pure substance, that means it cannot be a mixture, because those 2 are opposite. See, pure substance is here, doesn't overlap with mixture. Everything that is pure substance is homogeneous by definition. You can see that all pure substances are entirely within homogeneous. And it can either be an element, or those same options, pure substance, automatically homogeneous, it can be a compound, but not both. Something is either an element or it's a compound. So here are 2 possible combinations of checks if you think it is a pure substance. If you think it is a mixture, it can either be a hetero mixture, or it can be a homogeneous mixture. And take note, if it's a mixture, you don't get to choose element or compound, because element or compound, those are subcategories of pure substance. So if you think it's a mixture, you just choose whether it's a heterogeneous mixture or homogeneous mixture, and that's the end of it. So if I was doing these 2 problems and I was given beach sand, the first thing I would do is I'm picturing beach sand in my mind, and I can see different kinds of little grains in it, so I know it is heterogeneous. So I'm going to check heterogeneous. And then I would reference this, okay, if it's heterogeneous, it has to be a mixture. Everything that's hetero is a mixture. So I'm going to check mixture. And I'm done. Because if it's a mixture, it can't be a pure substance, which means it can't be an element or a compound. So that one, I only ended up with 2 checks. If I was given copper chloride, you can remember this from the lab, we talked about it, I'd say, oh, this is an element, and this is an element, so together this has to be a compound. So, compound. Compounds are a type of a pure substance, and all pure substances are by definition homogeneous. And so that's how I would end up with 3 checks. So before you go and try this, I would write this list down. These are the 4 and only 4 combinations of check marks that you should use. Students who get really poor scores on this, often when we go back through and look, they weren't using these arrangements, which means at best they're going to only be getting partial credit, possibly not getting any credit at all on that problem. So make sure that you're limiting yourself to pure substance homogeneous element, pure substance homogeneous compound, heterogeneous mixture, or homogeneous mixture. And we'll do a quiz version of this when we get back. Post any comments that you or questions that you have on this, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I see it. Later, guys.